welcome to WAINGAFAT Wednesday, which means, for those of you who still don't get it, that's an acronym that says I'm going to tell you who am I not giving a fuck about today. And today, I'm not giving a fuck about Australian mining magnate Clive Palmer. Although with his own disclaimer, just because all his money's invested in mining, when it comes to tax purposes, he's not in mining. It's just where he makes his money, and it's just where he tries to influence government policy. Now, the Australian government passed a new tax that affects some mining companies this week, and a lot of people thought he'd come out swinging, talking about the mining tax. But no, he went straight for the main game, which is why I don't give a fuck about him. Because he's insane, and he's come out with his theory that the Greens are run by the CIA. Now, you might be saying to yourself, I can't think of two organisations further removed from each other than the Greens and the CIA. Well, that's because you're not Clive fucking Palmer. You're fooling yourself. You're deluded. You're one of the sheeple. How did Clive come to his conclusion? Well, see, apparently, once Greenpeace produced a report and they accepted some money from the Rockefeller Foundation, which is a non-profit in the US, and he's drawn a straight line from that to the CIA to anti-coal campaigners in Australia. Therefore, anti-coal campaigners in the pay of the CIA to destabilise Australia, ruin the mining industry, thus cementing America's superiority over the world. As a side note, him and the other big mouths on the Australian mining scene, especially him and Gina Reinhardt, I swear, if you fancied yourself a satirist and set up a stereotype of rich mining people and came up with them as characters, like these weird, morbidly obese people, so fucking socially maladjusted you invent insane conspiracy theories and sue your own family, I'd say you're an idiot and unimaginative and don't deserve to call yourself a satirist. Sadly, that's true. That's what these people really are. Oh, and incidentally, the reason AZ's not here is because when I told him I was going to talk about Clive and his CIA conspiracy, he was too scared to come in, and because he's sure the CIA are watching. I wanted him here to have someone say something more insane than Clive Palmer, but he wouldn't be in it. He did say he'd text me. Did you know Harold Holt didn't really drown? He has an empire at the bottom of the sea, and one day he will attack us with his lobster army. Still not as insane as Clive Palmer. Did you know there aren't really reptile people under the earth controlling the world? They live on the moon. Under the earth is a race of subterranean manatees who control the lizard people. Still not as insane as Clive Palmer. Did you know all Wiggles music actually has subliminal mind control messages that's going to turn children into a communist army that will overthrow the government? Well, that one's just true. Everyone knows that. And of course, another reason not to give a fuck about Clive Palmer is after essentially the entire country went, mate, you're a fucking idiot. He recanted most of his story. It's not everyone in the Green Movement that's under the control of the CIA, but he's got some doubts about some of them, thinks they're under the sway of foreign powers, and it's treason, I tell you, treason. Of course, we all know the reason he changed his story is because the CIA came to visit him, put the hard word on him. Planes sprayed chemtrails over his house to control his mind. Or he's just a fucking moron, the type of dickhead I don't give a fuck about.